Nancy Green here.
Hi.
And hi. And one of the things I was curious about with this movie is it's a very deeply emotional and philosophical kind of film. And so I wanted to know, what did you learn working on it that you feel like is something that's really important for audiences to get? And how did it impact your life personally?
Yeah, I think that there were a few things that I was excited about. I think first of all, in just a creative space, I was really impressed by the way Mike Flanagan put the team together. Just all of the heads of department, all of the crew, just everybody who was working on it were all in the same sort of mental space, if you like. They were just everybody was very. I think it's because there were quite a few people that he'd worked with before, but also I think that he has this capacity to really communicate what he wants, and also to communicate his own sort of worldview. And he's able to be quite emotional, and emotionally available. And so people felt comfortable being honest and to a degree really relishing the emotional aspects of the story and the positive and the nurturing and the life affirming aspects of the story. And that was present right from the moment that I turned up to sort of shoot the film. So I arrived into an environment where people were very kind of, they had a very heartfelt enthusiasm for the story and for what was being attempted. And that transferred onto the set. And so people were incredibly supportive. And although in pockets that has happened, it's not sort of unknown to do that. I just felt like it was very curated in this instance. And all of that assisted the telling of the story and the tone of the telling of the story, and it is a story that has kind of, that has big swings, like, there are things in it that, that are on paper quite risky. The big dance number is quite risky on paper, and but even, the sort of the skywriter, it's sort of, they can be light, and when they work, they're great. I think they really hit, but on paper, these things can be quite like, oh, really? Is that going to work? Is that going to take an audience out? Is that going to do, is that going to do what we want it to do, basically? And it felt like you have to have a very strong overall sense of what your tone is, and that needs to be very supported by everybody around you in your kind of in the vicinity of the project, in order to land it, actually. And so so that's one of the things that I just felt was, is it something that I learned? I mean, it's something that I felt was very important um, to understand and to see, basically. And although the audience doesn't necessarily get that information, I think they do subliminally get that information from the film. I think it's a film that is very full of the kind of emotional truth and life affirming truth and the spirit, essentially, in which it was made.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. And very beautiful. Very
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you.